Well, welcome back to our breakfast show with Smart Robie. And indeed, this morning, I think I updated on the morning podcast on the Telegram. Make sure you check it out. As we have seen, the Dow Jones really holding up. As we said before, the month of October, many times again, of course, you have probably heard it before here, with the bullishness that we've seen in the month of October as we saw September month, and that also prolonged the general election 15 rally in here. Now, like it or not, we don't see a lot of market participation in the market yet, so which means this rally will likely to continue. A number of people that is really asking about how this rally is seems to be very skeptical in here, and that's actually a very good news, because many people who don't really familiar with volume spread analysis, this is something we focus a lot in our Smart Robie and also in our VSA 360, fail to understand how can this market still rally in here. But of course, those of you who are our regular will already understand how this thing works by simply just following the Pentagon flow in here, like you see up on the top chart. Let me just blow it up in here. You could see since we have that green Pentagon on the left hand side with a chart in here, and that's also happening around the 16th October. This market is been very bullish. We did talk about the 20 and 40 day moving average that you see on the left hand side in here, but let's get on to what we have for you this morning in our Smart Robie breakfast show in here. Definitely we want to be sharing here is the continuing of GE15 rally, at least testing the 1480. Right now the market is up already 16 points to 1464, so the new high 1480 is just matter of time. But let's also talk about the 1460, which you see that need to be breached, and it is breaching now, so this likelihood we will see this market continue. So the question mine to you is that, do you have that list of stock that you have, or are you still holding some of those stocks who don't perform and seems to be lagging? That's why the trading strategy that you have is important. For those of you who have joined us and some of our member when you went through the 20-day live trading challenge as well, our latest November starting, which you can be part of our 100-day orientation is to get you to move into those kind of stocks, able to profit from in here. Now, this window of opportunity is still ongoing, and that's why you need to take advantage of it. Of course, so those of you who know that the foreign funds are net, previously was net flow, now has become net inflows, and I'm going to share with you in our VSA 360. Of course, this morning our primary focus has been a lot of the beginner, and if you're the beginner in here, stick to those FA stocks at least to provide some sort of dividend strong holding in here, and yet still this market undergo lots of market volatility in here. Now remember, our Smart Robie is powered by our Pentagon Guider, which is a patent pending, and it is part of the flagship products of the Trade VSA, and following the work of Tom Williams, the creator of volume spread analysis in here. Now that's you can also follow us on our Pentagon Guider flow in here, more on that on papers in here, but at the same time we do have some good October 14, which is every 2 weeks we publish in the newsletter. You can check this out. Some of our great winner in here, Hex Industry, PJ, Boomi, CFM, and HH Group. These are some of the good ones. But of course, with this market volatility, we have said before, focus on the shorter term profit. As I said before, some of these may not run that much, so shorter term profit will be much good in here. Now you can see from here this morning, Hextech is up almost 10% in here. MPI is up 3%. PetDuck, those are the big gainer in here. Definitely those who are heavy in volume are Top Glove, up 4%, right? Tenco up 2%, and Care Plus. So the rubber glove continue to move higher. As I said before, some of those analysts continue to say that the ASP, average selling prices, are not very favorable, and this is due to the movement that is coming really from the new COVID variant, but I doubt it. Usually the case that if the market wanted to move up, it will usually move up in it. Now some of the big decliner are Texcam, which is down 10% in here, Kihin, Chipco, T-Ocean, Ibraco, and this. So those are the one that you should take note of it previously that you had. Profit taking is in place. There are still some in here. We can definitely check it out on our this ST2. You can see from here, ST2 intraday for those stocks, and activate your monthly pass for the Smart Robie here. Now let's move on to the KLCI Green Pentagon. As I said before earlier on the chart that you see here, the KLCI has already turned Green Pentagon somewhere in the 16th of October. That was way ahead. As long as it doesn't turn it, then we just keep ahead. But what's more interesting is the takeout of the 20-day moving average, which you see right here. Let me just switch to this wider chart. This is a wider chart here, and you can see this 20-day moving average and the 40-day moving average. So it does look like the 40-day moving average will be likely the support that you see here. Now the broke through the 1430, which is that good. It holds its ground at 1380 support, which is the lower side of in here. And if that market were to break lower, on hindsight, people say that, hey, this market is going to break lower, but it did hold its level in here. But since then, we have almost 5 up bar, and this pullback, it's a very nice one in here. You could see early this morning at about the market was around doing a test. Finally it broke through, and you can see that market moving. The railway track is definitely turning upwards, and that's where you want to see. Now the question always remain is, this rally is going to continue to GE15. Should I buy then? You should be in right now, right? That's the whole point of following the Green Pentagon, giving you much earlier. Now looking at the market stages, for sure, this is the future chart. You can see the market right now is testing the red line, the market stages in here. So we have to be very cautious, right? As soon as it touches that, this market may likely to see a little bit of profit taking, which we did see previously in month of August. Now we did have this the market stages peak valley in here. You can see the market went down to 11%, and the last time went down 10%. Usually that is the point where the market will hold, and since then it's gone up back to 8.8%. now it's 8.2%. so we are pretty much the so-called the extent of how far can the market go. So do take note, this market may extend a bit more, but pullback is also likely. So that's why you want to trade with the setup of each individual stock of each sector in here. You can also check out the sector by looking into this market here. So some of the hot sectors are healthcare, trans-logistic, plantation, telemedia, and finance. Of course, the VSA 360 has a much better comprehensive cover in here. Now at this point, what we want to do in this chart here is looking for sign of weakness, which is the VSA standpoint of weakness coming into the market in here to suggest maybe the market is turning, but if not, continue to follow the kind of trend. Period support at 1380 did hold, and the major one resistance will be 1530, which will be at some other time. But let's see if you can break through the 1480 level first. That's the one level. Now the silver lining for the month of October and November, which many of you have been updated, we did see the September was a record for the bear month, and every time when you see this big record movement to the downside, you always have an upside. Now for the month of October, right until now, it's 3.8% up. So does that also mean the month of November we're likely to see another rally? Because if you look back, the average return, it's almost unchanged, but so far the KLCI is minus 6.9%. so it will, the question is, where is it leading? Is it going to be a positive return, or is it going to be a negative return for the year 2022? Now, if you look back from an economic standpoint, it haven't done that bad for our Malaysian market. We will probably be in the positive side. I do think that it could be positive 3% or 4%. That's the max. So which means we still have another 6% out movement for the month of November and December. And you hear it first through the VSA 360. That will always give you the kind of prognosis going forward, how much this market can move, judging from looking at the season. So silver lining, ladies and gentlemen, month of October and November in here. Now also, if you look at the foreign funds, you can see right now the chart up above me in here, the green flow. This is very positive, and let me just bring this up slightly bigger for you here. All right, so you can see the green inflow, that's very positive, and that's also a telltale sign of why this market is going. As long as the foreign funds are keep coming in here, they don't sell, and I don't think they're going to be selling, because if they anticipate the so-called coalition or incumbent, which is either the Barisan Nasional or the Perikatan, it will be fine. But if the Pakatan Harapan take a major lead, then you'll see a lot of foreign funds coming in here. It's the track record that we see. So this is something that you all should be aware of. But right now, foreign funds is coming in. They're looking pretty decent and good. Now let's also look at some of the, because of the month of October, there were the Deepavali, so we didn't have a chance to do it last Monday in here. So there's a couple of two stocks, Red Tone, Tiguan, and B Auto, that we're going to be looking back in here. But KLCI is maintaining green pentagon in here, and all sectors are started to turn green pentagon. So make sure you check it out. Now for the Red Tone, when we first talked about it was 17th October, spotted at 47 cents. Since then, did pay up to 49 cents. Did have a dividend payout here, about 1.8 or almost 2, just like short of 2% in here. So in par, usually when they pay dividend, market will drop off in here. Now, of course, with the GE15 in focus right now, a lot of those so-called penny stocks, those are the trading horses stock, trading one, those are the one getting a lot of attention in here. The back seat usually are these fundamentally good rating stocks that you see on Robie will take a back seat. It's not saying that they don't move, they do, but it's going to be pretty much slow. And if the news is not favorable to them, these stocks can really take a hit, like we saw on G-Tronics on the technology in here. Tiguan, as you can see, were tested, fit back into the so-called hold up by the 200-day moving average in here, and yeah, back to 244. It does hold its level. It doesn't fall that much. Right now it's back to 269, and that's one of those benefits, especially if you are beginner. Stick to those Robie FA stocks in here. They generally everyday upset, and again, it needs to align with the sector. Following the sector is important in here. Now, if the sector is somehow been partially blamed for the economic falling, like we see in the US, where the Biden administration came out with the CHIP Act, so a lot of those technology stocks are impacted. But the green energy will sort of do well, where that's also aligned with the budget 2023. So those are the thematics that you want to be looking in here. The other one is Bernas Auto, or B Auto in here, continue to do well, going back to 192. Notice the railway track here still do well, and this one also pay pretty good dividend. You can check it out here, B Auto. You can check here, B Auto, hit that one, and you can look out the stock fundamental on the left hand side of the chart here. You can see those are paying 4.8% dividend with a ROE of 31. Certainly a good one. Definitely the target price on the PE of 15.5 times is 260 in here, with the upside of 35% here. Let's see whether it will go up, because the PE currently is 11 times, which in my opinion are pretty low, given the ROE is pretty high here. Okay, some of EPF, Dynamic Mileage, and Amana Saham, Bumiputra has it. The floating shares are pretty decent, around 80% in here. All right, so let's go on to the next segment that we have. And if you have any stocks that you want me to look at, do pencil those in there. I'm happy to look at them. Now, also, let's take a look at the Robie FA list that we have here. And you can see hitting this one. And we have a list in here, almost 10 of them, right? And do pick those above the 47 cents, okay? Definitely you can see from here, Hyaptic, all right, 23 cents, Armada 39 cents, MFLA, which is rated 4, OSK rated 5, property, consumer product, MYEG, yes, technology, and one of those stocks which is aligned with the general election 15, GE stocks, BAT, Aeon Credit, Gas Malaysia, Contra. You can see BAT was the one that moved. Well, let's take a look at MYEG. So you can click on the MYEG here, 0138. So let's look at the stock chart. And remember, the Robie charts here are so-called real live data, and the last update was 10:16 in here. So you can see it is holding up its position. Green Pentagon, I think last Thursday in here. It did have a hub thrust, and because there was a lot of profit taking because market hit back 90 cents here. And who knows how high can MYEG go? So those of you who have it in here, this is definitely one of the stocks that we will be talking about. So let's look at the Robie 31st of October, which is the one I've just shared with you in here. The hot sectors, we have seen the healthcare, and technology is not one of the hot spot in here. If we do have healthcare, that'll be great. But many of them already started moving already. So you can see the Green Pentagon KLCI is still there. MYEG, let's look at MYEG fundamentals. Okay, pay 1.7% with an ROE of 19 times, PE of 19, where the sector average is 36. Give me 3 out here. Here is the intrinsic value. Okay, now overvalue. Yep, the share of MYEG is overvalue. Okay, partly is because of the ROE compared to the PE in here. Okay, still expensive in here, not much of a discount, so it's not one of the best one in terms of the intrinsic value in here, calculation in here, but definitely in a line with the GE15. This is definitely one of the stocks. The other one is Cycom. All right, Cycom came into the picture, turned Green Pentagon much earlier. So you can see Cycom turned Green Pentagon much earlier. You can see that was almost on the 23rd of October. Let's look at the chart right now. Syscom, just another way of pronouncing it in here. Yes, it continued to move up. It's one of those stocks at $1, touching $1 here. Let's take a look at the FA, stock fundamentals. And you can see fundamentals are pretty decent, paying 6.6% with the PE of 11 times, while the sector average is 21 times with the ROE of 27. That's looking pretty good in here, right? And you can see Leo Suresh. Well, I wonder who is this person in here. Okay, so some fellas already become top 3 shareholders in here. Target price based on the 15 times 0.5 times PE is 137, giving it a potential 35% here. Will this stock run? Again, now take a look at the more important is the technology stocks, and this one is on the technology small caps. This is pretty small. Let's take a look in here. Look at the website, Cycom International. Let's see what do they do. I'm just still waiting for my site to be updated in here. Hopefully this is the correct site. BPO. Oh, okay. They do a lot of these software kind of business, right? Brand ambassador in here. Yeah, okay, it's a software company in here. All right, so check it out on your own and see whether worth or not. Okay, the other one was Gas Malaysia. Again, right? Gas Malaysia is the other good Robie FA stock. Let's take a look at the fundamentals. Chart-wise, turned Green Pentagon yesterday. And so let's look at the stock fundamentals in here. Make sure you activate the monthly pass to get hold of this in here. Dividend of 5% in here, ROE of 28 and PE of 13 times. Okay, looking pretty good with the target price of almost 4 ringgit at the PE of 15.5 times, giving the upside of 17% in here. So almost 4 ringgit. If it can go up, let's hope so. If this rally can continue to year end, and maybe at the time will be great. All right, floating shares are pretty low in here, just 28%. So there is much smaller groups to ensure that this stock doesn't fall that much. You can't even go high too. Keep in mind with that one. Now last one is MYEG, which we did talk about in here. Pay a 1.7% in here. But these are the 3 top uptrend moving stocks based on the Robie FA. So for summary, right, we get down to it. The next major resistance is the 1480. Let me just switch on to the Robie chart here for you. And you can see the KLCI here. Right, and you can see the chart, right, 1480. Let me just bring it up for you here. So 1480 is the level that we are talking about here. And the GE15 rally continues in here. Silver lining for the month of October and November is still to be bullish, as I said before in here. The FA Robie list that we just talked about, those three, will allow you to continue to collect dividend. But for those of you who wanted to trade more those intraday, make sure you join me on Friday where we talk more about the intraday stock using the VSA 360. This is something that will help you. The green pentagon is already gone. All right, so if you have red pentagon on some of the stocks in here, that's when you want to honor them and exit here. Overall market sentiment looking pretty good. Market can go higher, right? But the question is, can it go beyond November 19 in here? And of course, for the month of November, we are beginning our master class. Now, this is something we want to invite you, the members, and also our existing students in here, and also our users of VSA 360 and Smart Robie to join us in our 100-day Trade VSA onboarding orientation. All you got to do is sign up for either our master class or our package in here, and then enjoy this 100-day 3-month orientation where we will go through you, just like some of our past graduate who did pretty well in here, to navigate through to this market volatility, both in the Malaysian market and US time in here. And considering the education that we were talking about, this is definitely a good area so for you to do well in the coming year, at least ending for year 2022 in here. Now, those are the topics that we spoke about. And also give us a review on our Google review store and stand a chance to win the 3-month and monthly membership in here, worth 1,000 ringgit in here. You can also sign up for our newsletter, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? And for all that. But if you're ready, these are the plan and pricing that we have. Free, very simple plan that you can follow on, and also getting our latest stock alert and notification, risk reward and visual trading plan that will put you into a strong position in here. And many thanks to those who have contributed in the past on the Google review. And right now we're just going to be looking at some of the stocks that you have. All right, we got here Kevin still looking at A Help. I still remember you. I think for that one, let's take a look at A Help in here. So A Help, right? This one, as I said before, you can see it's not going to go anywhere. I suppose if you're doing a longer term, it's just going to hold this position here. I think sometimes the market came down, broke through this 40-day where it does hold its level in here. Again, if you are, sort of holding this kind of stock, then it is just merely looking into the fundamentals. All right, so let's look at the fundamentals. A Health from here onwards. And looking at the fundamentals, then you are more of a longer term in here. It's only 2-hour rating. Does pay a good dividend. All right, PE of 20 times, 3% dividend. So this is a fundamental stock. I suppose you can just hold on to this one in here. DSK is also another fundamental stocks. So those two, don't worry so much about it. But here is that we want to capitalize on the GE15 stocks, right? Where you want to trade them and able to have here. You can also look at the fundamentals. I think DKSM is also rated 7 out of 8. So that one's definitely a fundamental stock with the PE of $5. We're looking at $5 in here, just above me here. So those are two fundamental stocks. Okay, Hong Leong. I think Hong Leong is another fundamental stock. Let's take a look at them too, right? And the fundamental stocks, so looking at that one, this one is 6 out of 8. So all are very strong fundamental stocks, and if you do have them, I think they'll be kind of good to be holding them in here. All right, we got others here. Beta. Okay, Beta is a new stock. I remember. I don't think much is Betamax. Betamax, it's not in the stock itself. It's going to be hard to trade, so switch on to the 15-minute chart and trade that. Right now we can see it debut. Of course, usually when it goes up, the market has fallen almost. Wow, that's a fair bit of high to low, isn't it? Wow, that's about 40% fallen in here. I wouldn't trade this, to be frank with you, in here. Too much volatility in, and you have this 2-bar reversal. That's usually not a very good thing in here. DNext. All right, DNext, it's not one of those, how do I say, political driven stocks. just wait for the green pentagon if you want to trade this. I think there will be some opening double bottom in here. You got the take out the uptrust. It actually is not bad for short-term trade. But I did trade others. I'm trading the CTOS. Alright, if those of you don't have, using the VSA 360 in here, you can see just the green pentagon. That's the one better one. So I got in about 141. So I'm already in the money for CTOS. That's what I want to be trading in here. This one's not too bad, as I said before, in here, but it will be better if we just turn green pentagon in here. We got cool here for big industry. Yeah, this one just continue to run it. I think it will test this 72.5 cents. Nice one in here. Green pentagon moving up in. All right. Any more stocks? Let me know. For those who are trading the higher stock rating, like Kevin does, the DKSH and the Hong Leong HLFG and also APAC. Those are very, very strong, good rating. Continue to hold them and collect your dividend, and do hope that this market will rally. But do have some sort of a profit target in there. Take it and then maybe rotate yourself to those haven't moved up yet. All right. So those are my in here. But if you're longer term, have a investing strategy and see how well you go from there. Any other stocks that you want me to look at? Yes, we got Young here. Want me to look at TSH. This one is a plantation stocks. Yep, looking pretty good. You can see here, green pentagon, take out of the pullback and looking nice in here. Continue to run this. I think plantation did have a news this week talking about likelihood they will pull back slightly in here. We've seen a dip in that. But I think with TH slightly well made. Let's take a look at the fundamental TSH. Looking at the fundamentals in here, since we are in the stock rating here, switching to right, it is rated 6 out of 8. Wow, look at that one, with a PE of 5 times, with the sector average of 9. So you can see the plantation stocks are really getting a very low end of the stick in here, with the ROE of 15%, dividend 2.7. So this is again pretty decent, pretty good. All right, with the 7.5 times PE, it will give you a target price about 140 for TSH in here. But at least make sure you hit at least 118 first onwards here. All right, it did came from a big fall off that we saw previously here. So right now, forming a nice double bottom in here, and this is a nice one. All right, Young. All right, so that's all we have for this morning in here, and don't forget to join us in our Telegram chat room, and do share that in your timeline, and make sure you follow me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday on our morning podcast, and I'll see you on Friday again for our breakfast show, and not to forget our live FP this coming Wednesday. I bid you a good day and happy trading. At least GE15 rally is here, and do spread the good word of Smart Robie to your friends, and make sure they will download it and use it to their advantage, especially the intraday trade and also the Robie affiliating stocks in here. Thank you for your support. Thank you again. I'll see you in the coming days. Bye bye.